Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a highly requested review ever since you guys saw on Snapchat and on Instagram that I bought this product, and that is the new or new-ish Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick, as well as the concealer. I know you guys only really asked me to do a review on the foundation, but as I bought both and bought them both together and have been using them both together, I thought I'd just roll them into one big review. I hope that's okay with you guys. Not that you've got a choice, but yeah. So I have been wearing this now for about a week, and I was a bit dubious about buying this to begin with, and I'll tell you why. It has been out in the UK for quite a while now. It's, well, a good at least 2 months I'd say it's been out. And the reason that I've not actually bothered to go and buy it beforehand is because the colour range is very small. There are 15 shades. Whereas with the Ultra HD foundation, the normal liquid foundation is like 40 shades. So I don't understand why it's like that. And then from looking at the ranges or the colours there wasn't an equivalent of the new HD foundation, the Ultra HD foundation, which in my shade I'm Y385, there wasn't an equivalent for the foundation stick. And I was like, okay, so what do I do? Now the reason that I have, and I mentioned this in my review video, which I will link below, about the Ultra HD foundation, is that the reason that I never really used to use the first HD foundation, not the Ultra HD, the original HD foundation, is because there was not a shade that would match me. Now in max shade range I am an NC40, and from looking online there are loads of people who really like the shade N128, which never worked for me because N meaning neutral and I'm yellow toned. I'm not neutral, but it seemed to work for a couple of people, probably because you've maybe got more neutral beigeish undertones to your skin even though you are an NC40. And then a lot of people use the shade Y153, which on me, as I mentioned in my review video, was too orange for me. And so I was like, okay, I need one in the middle, and that's where Y385 came out when the Ultra HD range came out last summer. And I was really happy that I was able to find one that matched me. Now the problem here was that there is an equivalent to 128 and there is equivalent to 153. And I was like, okay, so what about the shade that actually matches me? No. I was like, right, so what do I do? Do I try it out anyway? Is the colour going to have changed? Am I going to blindly buy it online without testing it out? I didn't know what to do. So the same way that many of you guys look to me in terms of foundation shades, I also looked to other people, and I looked at one of my favourite vloggers, Makeup by Lena Baby, who I absolutely love. I followed her since she first ever started her YouTube channel, and it's grown and grown and grown, and rightly so. She deserves it. She's an awesome makeup artist, and she's a lovely person, and her name sounds like mine as well, so how can I not love her? Anyway, she was using the shade Y405. Now that is equivalent to the shade 153. Or that's what they say online. If you go on Makeup Forever's website, that is, they give the equivalents, the shade equivalents to the previous foundations to try and help you out and try and match you up so that you don't find it difficult. You don't have to go in store, you can just order it online. And I thought, well, she has always said that she's an NC40 too, and I'm an NC40. But I'm an NC40 in winter, and when it comes to close to the summer months, I tend to go not necessarily NC42. If there was an NC41, I'd be there. But it depends how tan I am and that sort of thing. And I'm at my pay list at the moment. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Especially because from what I'd seen online, sometimes the colours don't run the exact same match. And I was like, all right, you know what, I want it. I'm going to try it. If it works for me, great. If it doesn't, it will just go in the bin along with the other Makeup Forever old Ultra HD, other HD foundations that I got. So I bought the shade 153, which equals to Y405, and Y meaning yellow. And then I also bought the concealer in the shade Y33, again yellow, but we'll talk about the concealer later. So this is what it looks like. It comes in, I really hate Makeup Forever's packaging. I find it really naff and cheap. Even the Ultra HD bottles, the plastic, it's so like, it doesn't match the way that the brand comes across as very luxurious and quite expensive. I mean, this foundation is £29. It's not cheap. And so is the Ultra HD foundation bottle as well. The normal liquid foundation, that's also £29. And it is a standard 30ml, I believe. well, it's 12.5 grams. I ain't good at maths or conversions. And it looks like this. It is a stick, a big thick stick. Now I've used this for a week and that's as far as it will go up. So that is how much you get. And I've used it every single day this week. And the way that I use it, because it is a thick, creamy product, obviously it comes in a stick form, I swipe it once across here, once across the middle, once across my jawline, same on the other side. I'll wipe it across my chin, above my top lip, sides of my nose and across my forehead, and then I blend it all in. Now loads of people online I've seen have used a beauty blender to blend it in. Now the first day that I used a beauty blender and I hated it. I found that it sheared it out too much, and as this foundation is one of those dewy type of foundations, it actually made me go dewier sooner rather than later. I have got normal combination skin, which means that my T-zone area tends to get a little bit shiny towards the end of the day. So I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm not normal, I'm not oily, I'm just like normal kind of combination. Now when I first used it with a beauty blender, it just didn't work for me. So the next time I tried and I used my Real Techniques Expert face brush and it worked perfectly. It didn't shear it out, it blended it out lovely, and I thought it looked really, really good. Generally, I really like this foundation. I think it's really, really good. It is definitely a medium to full coverage foundation, whereas the normal Ultra HD foundation, the bottle, is classed as a medium coverage foundation, but I find it medium to buildable coverage, whereas this one has been marketed as a medium to full coverage because it is a cream product. It is not a liquid product like the other one. So obviously, whereas the other one will sheer out a lot more, this one won't because it is in a cream formula. Now it comes in a box just like the other foundation, and I will read, you know what, I already read on the back of this what this says, and I looked at my previous video that I done on the Ultra HD foundation, the liquid, and it is pretty much the same word for word, other than a couple of words have changed. But then you do have to realize that it is meant to be exactly, it's in the same collection range of Ultra HD foundation. The only difference is one's a foundation and one's a foundation stick. So a lot of the stuff will be very similar. So, created for the very latest high-definition technologies of the film and TV industry, Ultra HD advanced formulas look invisible on 4K camera and to the naked eye, perfect for the makeup pros and for you, as in me and you. Ultra HD foundation feels like a second skin and still provides medium to full coverage while looking flawless and natural. Exclusive 4K complex guarantees invisible, natural and comfortable makeup. The creamy texture blends in seamlessly to conceal imperfections. Perfect for touch-ups, the formula glides on and makes the skin look even-toned and moisturized with a soft satin finish. Great for all skin types, even dry skin. Do I agree with all of this? I do. I think it's all fair. I think it's all true. Feels like a second skin, definitely. I can't really feel it on my face. Maybe a slight tack because it is a cream foundation, even though I have set my face with my normal powder, which I do tend to do anyway. And provides a medium to full coverage while looking flawless and natural. Definitely medium to full coverage. I prefer my foundations to be more on the full coverage side, but I don't like it to look cakey and obvious. I also don't like foundations where you have to pile on so much to get that kind of flawless look as well, because it kind of defeats the purpose to me of natural looking skin, where in the sunlight you can see all the areas in your skin where, or dry areas on your skin where the foundation is kind of set and congealed and doesn't look very realistic. So this one definitely feels like more like a second skin. Looking flawless and natural. Well, what do you guys think? I'm wearing it today. Flawless and natural, definitely. Exclusive 4K complex. What's that? Is that just some made up thing? I think it is. Guarantees invisible, natural and comfortable makeup. Invisible, natural and comfortable, definitely. This one blends into my skin beautifully, and it really does give a very natural looking finish to the skin, despite the fact that I am wearing something which has been marketed as full coverage. The creamy texture blends in seamlessly to conceal imperfections. Now, one of the reasons I don't really tend to use cream foundations a lot is because of that reason that they have mentioned, blending it in. I hate cream foundations where you have to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend, and it just takes too long. Who's got time every day to be blending it out and working their arm muscles for that kind of thing when you know you've still got to do your liquid eyeliner and your eyebrows and everything else? So this one I find blends really, really nicely. It blends almost to like a powdery, creamy sort of finish. When I'm blending it out, I don't see like the creaminess, if that makes sense. It's almost, it looks as if I'm just wiping a powdery foundation over my face, which I really like. And it blends in seamlessly. I have no issues with anything with it kind of going all over the place. I don't have any issues with it bunching up in areas. And even though you're wiping, or I put it on like kind of like war paint, it still blends out evenly, and that's the most important thing. It's different with a creamy product or a foundation product where it will blend into each other anyway because it's liquid and it's more easily able to kind of move around. This one blends in really nicely. Perfect for touch-ups. The formula glides on and makes skin look even-toned and moisturized. Even-toned? Yes. Moisturized? Yes. Definitely my skin doesn't feel dry or anything like that. And with a soft satin finish. Yes, I have got a nice soft satiny finish. It feels great. Now, that is all of their claims. Now, for me, I find that yes, definitely it is a full to medium coverage foundation. It is one of those foundations which is considered to give you a dewy sort of look, which is different to the normal Ultra HD foundation, which is this one here. Now this one gives a more kind of demi-matte sort of finish. This one gives a that dewy look that lots of people like to go for. I'm not necessarily one of those people who really goes for that dewy look. The first time I wore this was on Monday, and I had to make a long distance journey in my car to Kent, which is a county outside of London where I have to go every few weeks for work. And I was driving that day and the sun was right in my face going there and back. I became quite shiny quite quickly, and that kind of put me off the foundation. Initially, it was the first time I was using it. Again, I had, like I said, used a beauty blender to apply, and I also hadn't applied as much product as I have started to do now. At that time, I literally had one swipe here, one swipe there, one there, one there, and one across there. It wasn't enough as well. So that is why my natural oils kind of beat the foundation, if that makes sense, because there wasn't enough foundation on my face to kind of hold back the shininess. It didn't move, but it just made me look a little bit shiny a lot sooner. So if you are one of those people who doesn't really like that dewy sort of look, this one isn't for you. You should stick to the normal Ultra HD foundation, the liquid version. This one doesn't oxidize on me. It doesn't move around on my skin. I get to about hour 7 or 8 where the natural shininess starts to show through. But because it's a dewy foundation, it doesn't turn to oil on me anyway. It still looks or retains that kind of natural sheen to the skin. Will I repurchase it? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm still more likely to go with the foundation purely because I like the finish more. That's not to say that this has got a bad finish to it. It's just down to personal preference, whether you like that whole dewy sort of look or not. It covers all imperfections beautifully. It feels lovely on the skin. It gives that really nice natural look, that natural dewy look that like brides and things like, or people like that kind of go for. They want that natural look in their makeup photos, and because this is that kind of foundation which is great for 4K cameras and that sort of thing, your makeup will look amazing in wedding photos and that sort of thing. And yeah, it doesn't break me out. I actually really do quite like this foundation. So yeah, so I'd say I'd give this one a 10 out of 10, just like I gave this one. This one is just slightly different, and I've given the reasons why. This is all down to the finish. That's all it really is. They're both exactly the same foundation. This is liquid, this is cream. This gives a dewy finish. This one does not give it a dewy finish. So it's down to you what kind of finish you really want to go for. Now, moving on to the concealer. This is a £20 concealer. That is not cheap. I've never really understood how pricing works when it comes to foundations and concealers. You obviously apply a lot more foundation than you could do concealer, and this one is so much more smaller. This is 7ml, whereas a standard foundation is 30ml. That costs £29. This costs £20. How do they justify that? I don't understand. Anyway, so the shade that I've bought mine in is Y33. Altogether in the whole concealer range, there are 10 concealers, which to anybody, they'd be like, wow, that's quite a decent amount. Is it? Is it really? Let me tell you why I don't think that it's that great a range in terms of shades. So Y meaning yellow, and then the other part of the concealer's range is R. Now what's R? Red, right? Red. So what R does, R is for colour correcting and Y is for concealing. There are 5 colour correcting shades and there are 5 concealing shades. Do not confuse the two. Don't go in and buy R, which are peach shades, assuming that it's made for concealing, because it's not. Which is why I think that it's a little bad of Makeup Forever not to make that completely clear. There will be people out there who don't know as much about concealers and companies and their ranges as much as maybe me and you, but they will pick up an R thinking that it does conceal and it doesn't. So technically there are only actually 5 concealing shades, and then there are 5 colour correcting shades which are under the R. So my one is Y33 Vanilla, which is one of the darkest shades, I believe. This one, in terms of shades, I use it underneath my eyes. It works quite well for me in terms of the shade. It is just about light enough to give me a little bit of a highlight. If I went one shade up, I think that would give me a brighter highlight. I might still do that, but I'm not too sure. Now, the whole purpose of this, like I said, is a concealer. Invisible Cover Concealer is what it says. What it says is Ultra HD Concealer covers dark circles, unifies the eye contour and hides signs of fatigue, leaving a smooth, luminous, flawless finish. Again, with the exclusive 4K complex guarantees invisible, natural and comfortable makeup, this easy blend and long wearing formula illuminates the eye area for a fresh look. Medium coverage for all skin types. Do I agree with all of this? Yes, I guess it does. I mean, it covers my under eye dark circles. I don't have really bad under eye dark circles, but they're bad enough that I feel that I have to cover them up for my own self. Unifies the eye contour. And hides signs of fatigue. Yes, I guess it does. Leaving a smooth, luminous, flawless finish. Yes, it does leave a nice, luminous, flawless finish under my eyes. What do you guys think? Visible, natural and comfortable makeup. Yes, again, it is a very natural looking concealer. It doesn't cake under the eyes, which is great. Easy blend and long wearing. Yes, it is easy to blend. I use my beauty blender and it shears it out very nicely. It's not a very thick concealer. It's fairly runny, so you are able to move it around quite a bit. And illuminates the eye area for a fresh look. Medium coverage, yes, I guess it is medium coverage. It's definitely not full coverage, because sometimes I can see my own colour under my eye peeking through, but then I just generally tend to put a little bit more of this on for all skin types. Well, like I said, I am a normal to combination skin type. Do I like this concealer? My favourite, I'm not gonna lie, is still my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I still don't think that this is as good as that one. I think that one might be a little bit cheaper as well. This one does crease under my eyes a little bit. Not a lot, but then the Urban Decay one doesn't crease at all. That's the difference. So for me to justify spending another £20 on a concealer, which is okay, compared to one which is excellent, I probably won't buy this one again. Again, the shade range I don't think is great. I think that they should have done a lot better with the shade range. I think it should be a little bit cheaper as well. It's not a rubbish concealer, but it's not an amazing concealer. So that's all I have to really say about it, to be honest. And I mean, I'm not really a fan of the applicator as well. It's like a little tube and then you squeeze it out, so you're not really in control of the amount that comes out. And then what I do is I tend to put it on my hand, on my finger, and then I dot it under my eyes. Then I get my beauty blender. Whereas with the Urban Decay one, it comes with a doe foot applicator. I'm in a lot more control as to how much I'm using of the product. This one I'll probably end up finishing a lot sooner. But yeah, so that's it really. I'm not really sure what else I can say about either of these products. Oh, this one. The smell. Oh my God. You know what? It smells like a farm. That's the only way that I can. I've been to a lot of farms. I live in England. This probably has to be the worst smelling foundation I have ever come across. The last foundation I reviewed was the Bourjois one, which I said that smelled like the Nair hair removal cream. This one smells like a donkey farm, or some sort of farm, or a farm full of cows, or a farm in general. It's got such a bad smell to it. I don't know what they've put in it. The liquid one definitely doesn't smell like this. But whatever it is absolutely reeks. I hate the smell of it. Ugh. Still an amazing foundation though. The smell does go away after a little while, so just letting you know. And what else? For all skin types, this one. Oily people beware. I would try this out first. Because like I said, dewy foundations, when it comes to dewy kind of foundations, people with oily skin always have to be a little bit wary. Otherwise, normal combination. dry skin, you will do well with this. This one will work well with all skin tones as well. Again, I think it's down to trying it out, testing it out. I personally don't think it's that amazing. I think it's okay. I think I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's not amazing, but it's not rubbish. So it's okay, it deserves a 7. I think the price tag definitely lets it down. I don't really think that it's worth 20 quid, and I think the colour range could be a lot better. So yeah, so that's it really. If you've got any more comments, questions, anything else you want to let me know, anything you think I should know about this, feel free to let me know below. Other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this video. My lipstick I'm wearing is Be Silly from the Flamingo Park collection by MAC, and on my nails this is Funny Face by Essie. And of course my Minnie Mouse t-shirt is from Uniqlo. This was from that whole Chinese New Year range that they had not long ago. I'll link my makeup look below, so that to my Instagram page, so that you can see everything that I wore on my face. Obviously you already knew my foundation, what I'm wearing, and my under eye concealer. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video.